well. I got some questions queued up from both the people who are here on the Zoom as well as from people who ask me questions in YouTube land. So we will get to all of that and your live questions as well. Ask me anything here in the chat. And brainstorm with me at Prouty.me. There we go. All right. We're reporting and ready to go. So you can ask questions in the Zoom chat as well. Deb says, I'm Deborah L. Franklin, but some places always drops the L. That is, I can imagine that is frustrating. Jeremy says, my real name is John Smith, but I like to keep it interesting. You're mission accomplished. Mission accomplished there. You are keeping it interesting. I just got the YouTube notification that you're going live. Thanks. Thanks for telling me that. That's kind of cool. That then I didn't even realize that they notify like that. I'm psyched about that. So I'm glad you got that notification. That means 5,300 people also just got that notification. No, it doesn't, because they don't all have notifications turned on. Okay, first question that came in is a question that was asked in a YouTube comment. So let's pop this question on the board. And this question is this right here. And I know that I know there's a voice note waiting for me telling me how to resolve this. Boom. Is it in here? Nope. All right. How do I get clients who are interested in my business online? So this came to us as a comment on a YouTube video, and I replied to that comment saying I will answer that question this Friday in the open Q&A. So I'll do that right now. So how do I get? So this is hey guys, you guys who are here on the Zoom, especially you Inner Circle people, you know the deal, right? You know how we roll. So how do I get clients who are interested in my business online? Somebody says, and I know it's rhetorical, but it's a great question. How do you keep track of so many moving parts in the Zoom and the YouTube live? It's you see the first couple of times I did it, especially you go back years ago, it was a nightmare. So it really comes down to simplification and you know how you guys who are on the Zooms with me, I'm always like, remind me, remind me, remind me, remind me. It's just setting up a bunch of reminders. So when I go into my YouTube studio and I reply to comments on my videos every day, if somebody asks a question, I will take that question, I'll copy and paste it into a note. So I have a running note. The title of that note is questions. And if it's a YouTube question, it goes into that note. And then when I go live on YouTube, all I have to do is open that note and look at the questions that I haven't answered. If it's Inner Circle and it comes to me somehow, then I'll put it into the question database that you guys have access to when you get your notifications for the Inner Circle calls. So that when I go to you guys, on the Thursday Inner Circle calls, I always open up that spreadsheet. And you can set up Zoom to automatically stream to YouTube. I do know that. Sometimes I don't want it to happen automatically. Sometimes, like on today's call, we got pretty deep into some secrets right at the beginning, and like some pretty heavy stuff that I would normally have only saved for a Thursday call, but it's real fresh, and I wanted to share it with you today. So I like to flip that switch automatically. You have it in a tab. That's good. That is good to know. I don't think I knew that, but that's good to know. So how do I keep track? It's just making sure that it's simple for me. So I start the Inner Circle calls on Thursday by opening up the database of questions. I start the Friday noon by opening up my note that has questions that I've collected from during the week. Zoom also has an AI assistant, which I have turned off because it was annoying people, but that AI assistant would listen for things and do its best to give me a synopsis. A, it wasn't as accurate as I wanted it to be. B, it wasn't as useful as I wanted it to be. And C, I had people complaining about it, so I turned it off. Okay, so the question at hand is how do I get clients who are interested about my business online? So this is actually quite simple. It's simpler than you think. It's a whole lot simpler than you think. And the reason it's simpler than you think is because everybody wants you to think it's really complex. But the reality is it's not. And so here's what I want you to do. And I'll write this down, and I know I haven't listened to Darcy's advice on how to get people to see what I'm typing yet, but I will very soon. So here are your instructions. Number one, make it so unbelievably clear. Make it just crazy clear. The service and transformation you offer. So if you're a video editor, you gotta make it very, very, very clear that you're a person who edits video. And you got to be more clear than that. I'm a person who edits video. Not I'm not, but like let's imagine you edit video for real estate agents. I'm I am a videographer and video editor who works in the real estate industry. But even that's not clear enough. I'm a video editor. I'm a videographer and video editor who works in the real estate agents in the real estate space, and I film homes that are for sale. Not even clear enough. I am a videographer and video editor, and I film in the real estate industry. I film homes that are $2 million and up for agents to use in their sales and marketing. Now that's clear. One of the things I will tell you, and I've been talking to a lot of my private clients about this, you got to dumb it down. Dumb it down, but be super clear. So maybe find a 5-year-old and explain what you do to them, and then ask them to go and explain it to another adult, and then have that adult come to you and tell you what you do. Like that, we often talk about writing at a 6th grade level. I think when it comes to explaining what we do, we have to explain it at an even simpler level. Chris, what do you do? I built an online school and mentorship program that helps people grow businesses. Even that's not clear enough. I could get even more clear. So you have to dumb it down. I hate to use that phrase, dumb it down, but you got to simplify it. You really do. You got to simplify it. It's got to be incredibly clear what you do. I have people that market to me all the time through email. I got this one dude that's just constantly hammering me. And I had to write back to him, and I had to say, I don't, he's like, hey, when can we have a call to talk about this? When can we have a call to talk about this? I just wrote back and I said, never, because I don't know what you do. And then he wrote back in some like opaque language about what he does. And he's like, I just want to see if I can add value to you. And I'm like, dude, add value to me? Add value by saving me time from having to read your emails. I only check email once a week at most. And if I got to sift through your nonsense, so you got to make it super clear what you can do. Okay, so how do you get people who are interested? First, they got to know what you do. Next, number 3, make sure what you do is needed by the people you want hiring you. Boy, now doesn't that seem obvious, right? Doesn't that seem obvious? But how many people really do that? How many people set off and they're inspired to do something, but nobody really wants it? I can tell you from personal experience. I built an entire program. I spent months of my life building this amazing SEO program that I spent months building this thing. It was wildly comprehensive. But it turns out nobody really wants to learn how to do SEO at that level. I sold 3 units One, the business owner is doing extremely well with what he learned. The other two, the people started their own SEO agencies based on that training. So good for them. I had done SEO for years, years and years and years. And so I figured, well, maybe people want to learn to do this themselves. I'll build it. I built it. Nobody wanted it. So even though I'm highly inspired by it, not everybody's going to be. Yes, I need it. Well, since then, the minimum viable everything. That's what I call it. Everything is minimum viable. My private clients go crazy because I'm so minimum viable. I've got one private client who said, "Oh, this is what I think I want to offer." And I said, "Okay, great. Let's go sell it." And she's like, "I haven't developed it. It's a 12-week program. I haven't even developed it." I'm like, "That's fine. You don't have anybody buying it. You don't need to have it developed." And so she sold it and sold 3 units of it like straight away on the first ask. And so then she came to me panicked. She's like, "Well, what do I do now?" I'm like, "Well, you got to build week one. You only got to build week one. They're all starting this week. So go build week one." And she goes, "Then what?" I go, "Then keep selling it and build week two next week." And so she was building because she did minimum viable. And there are people that hang out with us here in the Zoom. There are people who did minimum viable, and it was crazy to see what happens. So it's minimum viable everything at that point. Okay, so make sure what you do is needed by the people who you want hiring you. And then additional to that, can I just make this all one big size? There we go. And then step number 4, make sure people will pay you for it. Make sure people will pay you for it. Right. And that can be very difficult, but you've got to make sure people will pay you for what you do. So to get clients who are interested in your business, you got to make sure people will pay you for your business. So who's struggling with this right now? People who do video editing are struggling with this a little bit because the tools to edit videos are getting easier and easier, and many people are just wanting to do it themselves. The other problem with video editors, from my perspective, is that it would take me longer to email you the raw file or to put the raw file in a Dropbox and wait for you to turn it around and give you, I don't know if this person's a video editor, by the way. I just happen to be using that as the example. It would take me longer to send you the raw file and then make one revision round than it would be for me to do it myself. So there's no time saving for me in working with a video editor. 0.00 time savings. So if I can't save time, because time is money, if I can't save time and I got to babysit you and get you to, get to make the changes that I want, that's not a high value for me. So it's got to be something they need and something they're willing to pay for. Then 5, 80% of your audience, I added an R in there, 80% of your audience, that's better. 80% of your audience wants to be educated before they make a move. Oh, I got brain science stuff for you on this one. I did some brain studying this week. I have an interesting brain number for you. I'll share with you in a moment. 80% of your audience, I know you can't see what I'm typing yet, wants to be educated before they make even the smallest move. So create educational content. Create educational content that answers their questions. That's number 5. Side note on this, I was studying brain recognition of data, and the average number of iterations of seeing something before your brain recognizes it as familiar is 6. That's the average for humans. When you see something 6 times, it becomes recognizable to you on average 6 times. So that plays heavily into you on social media. So it takes you have to see something 6 times before it becomes recognizable to you. So that there's a lot of value in knowing that in how to show up online. P.S. It doesn't mean you can post 6 times and hope to get business. It means that after 6 times, you're recognized by someone for what you do. That's it. It's still going to take weeks before they're willing to make a move because people are just super slow in making moves. And then the last thing that I will tell you about getting clients who are interested in your business online, the last thing I will tell you is patience, persistence, and another word that begins with P. Who's got it? Who's got the alliteration for me? Inner circle. Patience, persistence, and perseverance. Power. Pursuit. I'm going to go with power. I like the word power. Patience, persistence, and power. Hey, look, you want the hard message? It ain't happening in a week. It's not even happening in 2 weeks for you. Might happen in 3 weeks. Can definitely happen in 4 weeks. I had somebody come to me this week. Somebody came to me this week in the pursuit of power, Jeremy. Somebody came to me this week and they were like, oh, somebody told me that it's going to take years before I get a client from social media. Well, that's completely wrong. You can get it done in 4 weeks if you have patience, persistence, and show up. And you just show up. But I'm on social media. Well, what are you doing? Well, I scroll through the news feeds every day. No, no, no. You guys in the inner circle know. You know, 3 types of posts: lead with education and make offers. Make offers always. And it can happen, but you got to do it. You guys who are in the inner circle, go into the training, watch my daily workflow. Just watch the daily workflow. You do that every day. It's like magic. All right, so that's the first question. Next question that was asked. Wow, this is a great question. Here's the next question. I am a full stack developer providing web, mobile, cloud, AI, and services. How should I target? If someone wants software solutions, I want my profile to be there. So I have a lot of thoughts on this. That's full stack development is that's a hard job. And even where AI can do development, there's still a lot of risk in using AI to do development. You do need a human to look it over. I've seen instances where people have optimized code online with vulnerabilities in it, and then AI has because AI is not going to expose all the vulnerabilities, not yet at least. And AI has taken that code and positioned it as here's some code that you can use for your JavaScript, for example. And then there was a built-in vulnerability. So then the person who optimized that vulnerability for AI search can now scan the internet using simple scanning tools, looking for this vulnerability on websites. And now that it's like people are injecting backdoors. Very, very, very scary to think about that. So as a human, you provide a lot of value. So now we got to think about who needs you the most. And only you are going to know that. I mean, I could do the research, but you got to figure out who needs you the most. So you do web, you do mobile, you do cloud, you do AI. AI seems to be pretty hot right now. Everybody wants to build like an AI thing based on a variety of the AI platforms. So that might be kind of cool. So you could head on to LinkedIn and completely optimize your profile. So one, optimize your profile for exactly what your perfect prospects are searching for. So that would your title or you might call yourself a full stack AI app developer. You could do that. You'd have to really research and figure out what your perfect prospect is searching for. They might be searching for that. Got it. Just saw that question come in about Sales Navigator. I will get to that. So you've got to figure out here are all the circles that need to cross. I'm going to draw a Venn diagram. Venn is completely sideways right now because I use a square instead of a circle. So let's draw a Venn diagram really, really quick. Zoom, I love you. Okay, so here's your Venn diagram. You got to figure out first what you're most inspired to do. That's going to be the easiest thing to sell. Then what you can charge a lot for. That's that right there. And what solves the problem, the biggest, meanest, most burning problem people have. Okay. The center of this Venn diagram is what you should be doing, right? That's here. That's what you should be doing right there. You're inspired to do, you can charge a lot for it, and it solves a massive problem. But then what you have to do, and this is what nobody does, because people don't even do the Venn. They don't even do this. They just start with what they're inspired to do. They don't know if they can charge for it. They don't know if it even solves a problem that people are willing to pay for. They just set forth doing something that they love to do without giving this kind of introspection. Then you have to do the research. What are people searching for when they need this? That's the magic. What are people searching for when they need this? What are they typing into Google AI, LinkedIn? What are they typing when they look for this? Full stack AI app developer? Maybe. Maybe. Don't know. You got to do the research. You got to figure out what that is. An easy way to do that would be to start asking people who are your perfect prospects. Start asking. Or you get on calls. How did you find me? Oh, I was searching. Well, may I ask what you searched for? Do you know what you searched for? Or send an email out to everyone you know and say, could you answer one question for me? If I'm a full stack developer. Now, regular people don't know what full stack means. And even people who might want to hire you might not know what full stack means. I'm a full stack developer. That means this. And I specialize in this. What would you type into Google if you were looking for someone like that? What would you type in? Right? And then ask them. And then look for the commonalities. I would ask 100 people or 30, not less than 30. And then start to look for the commonalities. Right? A lot of people don't know what full stack means. Full stack means top to bottom, all the way from, well, full stack. I mean, that's all the way from the hardware level all the way up to the user interface and everything in between. Jeremy says he's only looking for partial stack. Partial stack might be up here at the top, which is user interface, user experience, one level below. But full stack means it means that's a developer who's going to be able to do everything for you. So it's like a one-stop shop versus somebody who's just a UX developer, a user experience developer. That's UX, or UI, user interface developer. So optimize your profile but you got to figure out what that phrase is. So that's this right there. Oh, I'll go around. My arrow turned a corner. Oh, Jeremy's bringing up food. Jeremy, I love sub sandwiches. Oh, I love myself a good grinder. Love myself a good Italian grinder. This place in Ludlow, Massachusetts, Pizza Corner used to make this dude, Charlie from Pizza Corner in Ludlow, Massachusetts, would roast his own roast beef for his roast beef grinders, which is another word for a sub. He would roast his own roast beef. And on Fridays, Amy and I would always get one of his roast beef grinders. You could, hey, Trev, I'm telling you what, man, you're a half an hour from there. If I were a half an hour from there, I'd be driving there today. He roasts his own roast beef, and on Fridays you could just smell it all over the streets. It's called Pizza Corner in Ludlow, Mass. Hey, everybody on YouTube, thanks for being here. Welcome aboard. We're going to talk about food for a minute. Yeah, Pizza Corner in Ludlow, Mass. This dude, his name was Charlie. God, I hope he still works there. I hope that dude is still there. It's been 15 years since I've been there. Yeah. So he would roast his own roast beef for his roast beef grinders, and you would just smell it everywhere. It was insane. So Amy and I would go in on Fridays, and he would take the big Italian roll, he'd cut it open, he'd toast it, mayo, the shaved roast beef, provolone, tomato, and then the shaved lettuce, not the big leaves of lettuce, the shaved lettuce, and then his special, oh my God. I'm about 30 hours away. Let's go. All right. Well, hey, listen, if you go, say Chris and Amy sent you, see what happens. Okay. So step number one is you got to figure this out. You got to figure this out. And that's hard. That's the hard part. Then step number two, it's the same as everything up here. Just then here, we're just going to take this and we just full stack that on down here. And there you go. There's the rest of your plan. If you do that on LinkedIn, your profile is going to show up where they're looking. Somebody says, can you talk about the value or not of Sales Navigator? So LinkedIn has multiple levels of service for you. There's the free version, there is the professional version, then there's Sales Navigator, and then there's Recruiter. The benefit of paying is that you get deeper access. The benefit of paying for LinkedIn at any level is that you get deeper access into LinkedIn. You get fewer restrictions into what LinkedIn's going to present you for information. And you get not much, but a smaller chance of getting put in LinkedIn jail. It is minuscule. It's microscopic. I use the free version of LinkedIn because my mission is to always show you that it can be done with the free version of LinkedIn. And I was able to scale my business to very, very big numbers using the free version of LinkedIn. However, if you're just starting, one of the strategies that we always talk about is interacting with people who look at your profile. So the first level of paid version of LinkedIn is going to give you that, whereas the free version, you don't really get that. So that's going to help you. You can look at more profiles. You can't necessarily send more connection requests. In professional and then to a greater extent in Sales Navigator, you can do more complex searches. And I think that's a benefit when you're just starting out. If you're looking to do account-based marketing, where you're going to be targeting very specific accounts, you'll be able to find you'll be able to get more granular details in your searches, and you can get more information in your searches. So that's a benefit. So then let's find out what's the price of Sales Navigator versus professional. LinkedIn prices. Do you know? Can you just tell me, or you don't have to just tell me? I'll look it up. Oh, look at that. Right away. 100 bucks versus 40 per month. I thought the professional was like 70 per month. LinkedIn account types, LinkedIn premium. Come on, just show me a pricing chart, LinkedIn. Try 1 month for free. They do kind of keep it a secret. All right. So this is 2024 information. Free LinkedIn, LinkedIn Premium Career, 40 bucks a month. LinkedIn Premium Business, 60 a month. Sales Navigator Core, 100 bucks a month. Sales Navigator Advanced, 150 a month. Sales Navigator Advanced Plus, that's custom. So figure that one out. And then there's Recruiter, and it's cheaper annual versus monthly, like everything. They want it, they want your yearly money. Should I do that with the inner circle? You guys want that with the inner circle? I'll do it if you want. Just tell me if you want it, I'll do it. You want like 2 months free? I don't know. Let me know if you do. I'll make that happen for you. So probably, all right, a couple of yeses. Like, isn't that interesting, all the different sales navigator? So what I would do is I would start with premium business first. Listen, I don't know your budget, right? I don't know your budget. If 100 bucks a month for Navigator makes sense to you, I would get Navigator, and I would go full on with Navigator. I mean, really, really go full on in trying to grow the network, in trying to get yourself out there, in going through the searches, looking at profiles, connecting with people. You'll get access to more people that way, fewer restrictions. If it were me, I would just try professional. I think it's, what do they call it? Professional? Premium. I would try premium business at 60 bucks a month for a couple of months, and you can get the first month for free. They always offer it for free. So try it for free, but what you've got to do is you've got to just go like full on. You got to go full on. You got to say, hey, I'm going to spend an hour a day in LinkedIn alone and get everything I can out of this. So I'm going to do the searches. I'm going to export, I'm going to not export, because I don't think they want you to export, but I'm going to take the notes in spreadsheets. I'm going to keep track of people. I'm going to be communicating with people. I'm going to be sending tons of connection requests. I'm going to take advantage of every single thing for a month. Generally, as you know, LinkedIn, they always have tried to discourage the free version. I don't know if they were going to phase it out. It would be interesting if they did. But you go full on for a month and you see, did you get business? And was there something in the paid version that got you that business? I think Sales Navigator is a little overkill at first. I would try the premium version. I think you're going to get what you need out of the premium version. That is my feeling on that. Sales Navigator is great if you're if you have a sales team, or you're working in a company and you're working with other salespeople. I think that's where Sales Navigator really starts to shine. For you, premium business would be what I would recommend. So just saved you 40 bucks a month. That's what I would recommend. And then just take the free month, but just say, hey, I'm going to get everything I can out of this free month, with the intention of getting business out of that free month as well. That is my feeling on that. And I'm just going to be chilling out here. I'm just going to keep using the free version just to show you that it works. Just keep working on that free version. Where did the time go? I just looked at the time. I was like, I bet you we're 20 minutes in. We're not. We're 50 minutes in. That time went by super, super fast today. Let's see. I'm just moving my screen around. There we go. Okay. My screen is cleared out. All right. Let me see if I have any more questions queued up. Somebody who joined the inner circle but is not here today is asking about free and cheap email strategies. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk at a high level about them here and now. Inner circle people will go into greater detail on this on our Thursday call. So free email strategies. Let's go back to the notes. And this person actually gave me some clarity in a message. They were like, they're willing to pay, but they just find that a lot of stuff is crap. And that's true. Somebody says that I got my LinkedIn account suspended about a year ago and lost all of the data that they had stored in Sales Navigator. Not the end of the world, but it was super annoying. So that's a good indicator that you should find ways to back this stuff up to a system that you do control. So the question is free email strategy. So in any email strategy, what's most important, number one important is getting emails of people who want to get emails from you, email messages from you. I just want to be really very, very clear on this. Get email addresses of people who want to get email messages from you. I know you can't see it. You will in a second. There. Okay, so that's the first strategy. So then in this strategy of getting these email addresses, I don't know why that's telling me it's a spelling error, but I spelled something wrong. Probably too many S's. So in that strategy, what's important is managing this data can get complex. There is a member of the inner circle who does everything in spreadsheets. He doesn't have a CRM. He just has spreadsheets, and he does his mailings from those spreadsheets. So it can be done, certainly can be done. And so we collect those email addresses as we've learned and you can find this on the YouTube channel and in the Inner Circle training, by offering a lead magnet of some kind where people will give you their email address in exchange for that lead magnet. That's the easiest way to get email addresses of people who want to hear from you. So you create a lead magnet, you offer it, you get the email addresses. If you don't have a CRM, you put them into a spreadsheet. If you want to test CRMs, a lot of the popular CRMs have like limited but free entry points, like 500 email addresses, and you can only email them like maybe 5 or 10 times a month, which is not enough for me, but you could move to one of those solutions. Another cool solution that is free is to use Gmail and Google Sheets and a software, free software. No, it's cheap software. Like it's like $25. And $25, yet another Gmail mailer. I think that's what it's called. Yet another Gmail. Let me look it up really quick. Yet another Gmail mail merge. Yet another. Hold on, I'll find it. Here it is right here. Yet another mail merge for Gmail. And the price on this, we looked this up months ago. Yeah, it's $25. So YAMM is what you want to look for. Yet another mail merge for Gmail. Now you can use your Gmail to mail your lists. You pay 25 bucks one time, and you can now start mailing people through Gmail. What's the benefit to this? Well, Gmail's free. Google Sheets is free. Gmail will land in Gmail inboxes more readily than a domain might, especially if it's a new domain. So there's a lot of cool benefits to this. So you created a lead magnet. You showcase it on social media. People give you their email addresses. You're putting them into Google. You're using the $25 YAM, and now you're emailing people for very little dough. And you didn't have to build a website or build any kind of a landing page or anything. And it actually is very streamlined. It works very well. The challenge with this is it requires a lot of hand-holding, maintenance, and automating it can become unnecessarily complex. So you're spending a lot of time doing this. Whereas with an email platform, you can create automations so that when somebody gives you their email in the platform, they get a response right away. And then an hour later or a day later or a week later, they're getting another response. So that's the downside to this. So it's not all upsides. Another thing that you could do, we've talked about this, is using something like, and thanks Trev for this, Systeme.io. I think it's a French company. So they offer a free website builder with email collection, and I think you can even email right from within their system. So this would be a second option for you. And so let's venture over there and take a look at that. Let's go here. Yeah. Move this around. Okay. So that is this right here. Yeah, I think it is. So let's look at the features. By the way, I have no relationship with this company. You might have a terrible experience with them. I've never used them. I don't know anything about this company. I just know they offer, you can create a sales funnel, which is just going to be a form that people fill out to get a free lead magnet from you. They offer email marketing. They offer a website builder. There's some kind of affiliate program, some sort of business automation. You can host evergreen webinars here, sell products. You can do blogging. You can publish a course. Seems like they offer quite a bit. And in their pricing, their free is truly free. You can have up to 2,000 people in your CRM, unlimited emails, 3 funnels, 15 funnel steps, 1 blog, unlimited blog posts, 1 course, unlimited students, 1 community, only 1 automation rule, only 1 workflow, 1 tag. So that's not going to be enough for very long. You tag people based on their behaviors. 1 email campaign. So they're going to kind of squeeze you there as well. Order bumps and upsells, A/B tests, coupon codes. 1 domain, no webinars. So you get the evergreen webinars at their $47 a month, which seems about right. So this might be a pretty cool option to try, especially when you're just getting started. When you're just getting started, here's what you need. The ability to have contacts, you have none right now. The ability to have a sales funnel that's as simple as, here's what I got, give me your email address, and I'm going to send it to you. And you're going to send it to them in your workflow here. Or in your campaign here, probably your campaign, which you get 1. So that campaign would be somebody gives you their email. The campaign starts by sending them the deliverable, and then you follow up with them in other emails. That's really all you need, and you can get it for free right here. So pretty good for free. And I would love to see what some of these things look like. looks like it has just your, a pretty basic builder. Looks like a basic website builder. I mean, look, you're not getting the stuff that you get, but drag and drop builder. Here's your automations. You know, so that's somebody gets tagged, they get a promotional email. If they clicked a link, then they get number 2. If they didn't, they get a last chance. So I mean, you can see those automations, pretty standard. Seems pretty straightforward. And it might be a great place to start. And I think I've answered all the questions, which is good because we only have 4 minutes to go. Inner Circle people, coffee in 1 hour's time at 2 o'clock Eastern. I will look forward to seeing you there, chatting with you during that. Any other questions? Did I miss anything? Let me go over to the YouTube, make sure I didn't miss anything over there. Didn't miss anything over there. That's fine. Thoughts on email scrubbing. So email scrubbing is the process of collecting emails for people who have not opted into your email list. That is a very dangerous endeavor. Right? That's a very dangerous endeavor. I think that's what Apollo does. Let me see. Apollo. That's not what I'm finding for Apollo. But are you meaning email scrubbing, like you're scraping email addresses? Like you're going through LinkedIn to get people's email addresses? I wrote some software once that would reverse engineer. Let's see. Oh, Apollo.io. I did AI. Sorry. Let's see. What does it do? What does it do? It doesn't tell me at the very top. Power your go-to market with one platform, powered by contacts. So if people are not opting in to receive messages from you, that's a very dangerous proposition, especially if people start reporting you as spam. Your domain will end up, especially with the way Gmail is now doing it, and others will follow. You get just a couple of spam reports, you are done. You're never emailing from that domain again, ever, forever and ever and ever and ever. So now you're going to have to start to get burner domains to email from, so that if people report you, you're not going to care if you lose that domain. I would just be very careful. I'd be very, very, I used to do email scraping, and I stopped when CAN spam laws came into play. I just stopped because I never want to violate any kind of law, especially CAN spam laws. You can get a lot of trouble for that. Not a lot of trouble. You can just lose a ton of traction and visibility with that. So you just got to be very careful. Now, if you're going to scrape and do account-based marketing, that's a totally different story. And I will tell that story on Thursday of next week in the Inner Circle workshop on how to scrape and then use scraping for account-based marketing, because that's a different story. And I have some of my biggest clients. That is exactly what we do. But you got to wait for Thursday for that one. So come to the Inner Circle workshop on Thursday, and I will explain it all to you. Let's shut down the YouTube. Shut down the YouTube. I should have said goodbye to YouTube. I didn't. I just shut it down without even saying goodbye. Well, maybe I didn't. It changed. Stop. Bye, YouTube. Oh, I keep missing the click. Bye, YouTube. Wow, every time. This is the funniest thing. I wish you could see this. Every time I go to click, it moves. Why?